beginning of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and it's the first big change compared to the games. The girl is murdered backstage in the pizzeria, not outside. In the games, the marionette goes out to look for her and finds her dead in an alleyway, which is when it becomes bound to her spirit. In the movie, Charlotte falls into the marionette's arms as the trapdoor opens. At the end of FNAF 6, Henry says,
"I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours."
A reference to everyone ignoring Charlotte in the movie, right before the girl ends up holding one of the kidnapped children in her arms at the cost of her own life. In Ultimate Custom Night, you can hear the marionette say,
"I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way."
A line she repeats to Vanessa before kidnapping her.
"I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way."
And the idea that the marionette can possess animatronics isn't new. In the games, it would get inside Lefty to go unnoticed. The box Vanessa hides in the closet could contain one of the answers Five Nights at Freddy's players have been asking for years. In FNAF 4, the game ends with a mysterious box whose contents were never revealed. Well, it looks like this scene is a reference to that box, and we can finally discover that what's hidden inside are toys William Afton kept as trophies after murdering the children. The clearest example is Garrett's airplane, Mike's brother. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 takes place almost 2 years after the events of the first movie. The FNAF 2 game, however, doesn't follow this timeline at all. It's a prequel to the original Five Nights at Freddy's. That makes sense because the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza from the first movie was a franchise, and what happens in the original game takes place years earlier in the very first Freddy's location. When Abby calls a cab to get to high school, Toy Chica...
Okay, so, question though, right? So is it like, did they just like, cause he said that it's not like, it was a what's the name, so did they just, like, just come up with a timeline, like just make it add up type shit? Is that what they just kind of did, basically? Or nah?
Gets in with her, but she shows up looking pretty sinister, without her beak and with dark eyes. This look is a reference to Toy Chica's version in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 video games, where she loses her beak and becomes much more terrifying. The pizzeria's security room in FNAF 2 is directly based on the game's office, just like in the first movie. That means there are no doors to stop the animatronics, vents on both sides, the classic Celebrate poster, and even the soda can. The light buttons are exactly the same as in the game, and the animatronic-controlled interface on the computer is inspired by the retro look of the computer in Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. The office clock stopped at 5:59, 1 minute before reaching 6.
No cap, I have not played number 2 yet. I did play number 1. Please go check out that video, bro. But I have not played number 2, and I meant to play it, bro. I literally meant to play it, so I think I'm gonna just play that too, bro.
The moment the night shift ends and the animatronics stop moving in the game. But where the movie really takes inspiration is in how Five Nights at Freddy's 2 actually plays. Mike tracks the animatronics from the security office computer, while the withered animatronics make their way toward him. The way he protects himself is by putting on the Freddy mask someone left in the booth, just like in the games. Withered Chica does the classic T-pose from the games, Toy Bonnie appears faceless through the ventilation slit, just like on the game's cameras, and with Foxy, the Freddy mask doesn't work because his eye is damaged, leading to a jump scare style lunge that's spot on to what you see in the games. Withered Freddy, meanwhile, does his classic in-game pose when he's about to grab Mike. The marionette has something to say too, because its jump scare when it lunges through Chica is exactly like the one from the games. The only way to keep the marionette in check is with the music box, and that's a direct mechanic from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, where you have to keep winding it up so the marionette doesn't come out of the box. The tune you hear is My Grandfather's Clock by Henry Clay Work.
Oh, that shit is so scary, bro. Bro, that's scary, bro. That's scary for sure.
And it was first used in FNAF 2, sampling the sound from one of those toy clocks at 1.25 times speed. The music box Henry gives Mike to control Charlotte also hides a small reference to Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. If you look closely, there's a tiny ballerina figure that resembles Ballora. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 delivers the dream of every player of the original game, ripping Balloon Boy's stupid head off. Yes, he's just as annoying as in the games, suddenly showing up in front of Mike to mess with him using lights and noise. In the game, he won't let you put the mask on to protect yourself from the animatronics, and as payback for years of tormenting players, Mike does us all a huge favor in the movie by yanking Balloon Boy's head clean off and bowling it down a hallway like a bowling ball. By the way Balloon Boy appears under the table is a direct nod to his counterpart JJ, who shows up as an Easter egg in the game in a very similar way. The security guard of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Bro, Balloon Boy, bro. Me and Balloon Boy got beef, bro. It's been years worth of beef. Years worth of beef, my boy. Years worth, bro. Lucky it was Mike.
Is Michael Afton, William Afton's son, and another psycho with a fate almost worse than his father's. In the movie, he tries to carry on William's legacy by indirectly controlling Charlotte and the animatronics, and even killing his sister Vanessa if that's what it takes to reach his goals. He is one of the main figures in the games after getting his brother killed, and he appears in one form or another throughout the saga, all the way to Pizzeria Simulator, where he supposedly dies agonizing in the flames. And since the movie takes place after Sister Location, it's possible this movie version of Michael Afton isn't as human as he seems. As an extra curiosity, if you reverse the FNAF 2 trailer, it supposedly hides a subliminal message, Mike kill all. The key to spotting the movie's best hidden secret might be in a few photos from the past. While Vanessa is dreaming that her father is chasing her, we see pictures of her as a child dressed like a rabbit. That's a reference to Vanessa's role as a security guard in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, where she becomes her rabbit-costumed alter ego, Vanny. When Mike tries to hack the animatronics remotely, he gets a vision of Freddy with a message that reads, Security Breach. Something similar happens at the start of Security Breach, when Glamrock Freddy and the rest of the band are hacked and start breaking down. The key Abby uses to free the animatronics ends in CD1, which matches a secret code used in the game to unlock Night 6. By far the movie's biggest surprise is Circus Baby appearing in Vanessa's memory. This trap animatronic, designed to capture children, failed in the games and ended up killing Elizabeth Afton, William Afton's daughter. What's wild though is that they built the full-size robot just for that one scene, despite how little screen time it gets. The actors have taken photos with the animatronic, and it's true. It's huge.
Like, who be making the designs of these motherfuckers, bro? Like, bro, come on. Come on, bro. Like, this is just a killing machine, bro. You just asking to get nailed. Like, you're asking for this, bro. Like, look, it's 2 times her size. What is she supposed to do? If that motherfucker got up, it was like, I'm hungry. Like, there's nothing, but she's gonna run and get caught. Like,
its size also matches the measurements shown in the games. Even its weight lines up, because transporting that massive robot reportedly required a train trip. And the melody William Afton whistles in this sequence is none other than the Toreador song, the tune you hear in FNAF 1 when the power runs out and Freddy just stares at you right before finishing you off. It's become one of the saga's biggest musical symbols, showing up again and again across the games and the movies. The arcade machines you see in the flashback of Charlotte's death show games that are tied to real games. Popgo's Arcade is an official FNAF spin-off game, and so is Candy Fishing, which shows a snippet from Five Nights at Candy's 3. The Freddy drawings in Freddy and Friends are the same ones used in the Security Breach promotional animation videos. Next to the logo, you can also spot 2 enemies from FNAF World, and the game shown on screen is a section of that game's map. Mike's hacking attempt in the security booth hides a classic Five Nights at Freddy's 2 secret. For a split second, during a camera pan, you can see the silhouette of RWQFSFASXC, better known as Shadow Bonnie, lurking in the darkness. This character could randomly appear in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but with less than a 10% chance and only when all the withered animatronics were out. In the first movie, Shadow Freddy appears on one of the security cameras. For years, people assumed the withered animatronics in FNAF 2 were just the original animatronics, but broken down, or alternate versions. But no, they're actually prototypes used for testing and then later abandoned. Maybe that's why they look so terrifying.
Oh, no cap. I did think they were just like different versions, or like, you know what I mean? I did think that. No cap. I thought that for sure. My dumb ass. No cap, I did think that.
And why they showed up on the worst nights in FNAF 2. Then there's Mangle, aka Toy Foxy, whose official undamaged design shows up for the first time in this movie alongside the rest of the toy animatronics. Its story is just as tragic as in the games, turning into a pull-apart Foxy attraction for kids. In fact, that line,
"Kids can be so heartless,"
is an Easter egg linked to FNAF World and what Mangle says about how badly the kids treated its body.
Oh, kids can be so cruel, lads.
In the game, when Mangle is close to the player, you
like the references be crazy, bro. Like you gotta be like, bro, you have to be like on it for every single thing, bro, to actually be understanding this shit, bro. Cause if you miss one thing, bro, it'd be like 6 references in that movie about just that, bro. And you like, what the fuck? And then you get these type of videos, bro, and you be surprised. Like, like, damn, like, they really been doing this shit for a very long time, bro.
You can hear radio-like interference. Something that also happens in the movie whenever this animatronic appears on screen. And if you've ever wondered what gender Mangle is, we've got the answer. In 2015, Scott Cawthon joked that Mangle is neither a boy nor a girl. It's yes, mystery solved. The fast talker Abby finds in the old pizzeria has a very particular way of speaking.
No, silly.
That voice tone, speaking out letters and words, is the exact same kind of voice used in the Five Nights at Freddy's games to deliver secret messages. This communication system was also used at the end of the first movie. As a tease of how the animatronics would end up calling Abby in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. But the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 post-credit scene is even more direct, and it references Five Nights at Freddy's 3. The people who enter the old pizzeria say some kind of museum is going to be built.
Why couldn't we just make the props for the haunted house? Come on, they want the authentic thing!
Just like the place you see in FNAF 3. William Afton is dead inside his spring Bonnie suit and starts to wake up once the children's ghosts are no longer holding him back. Similar to how he's shown in the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 trailer, Henry sends one last message to Mike through a cassette.
Leaving dead space. 3, 2, 1. Begin tape. Leaving dead space. 3, 2, 1.
The same way he communicates with the protagonist in Pizzeria Simulator, warning him that Charlotte is coming for him and that, in reality, he was William Afton's partner while building the animatronic.